Like yoga?
It wasn't like yoga.
Just unmute yourself, hun, and then you're good to go.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Week 4, Fast Track to Executive. Jen and I are super excited to connect with you. And look, 23 members on, so the cream of the crop. It rises to the top, right? I mean, you guys showed up tonight, and you're here, and we're excited to serve you tonight. And tonight we are going to be talking about launch parties, how to host, how to invite, the core 4 events, the value of those events, getting your team there. But first, I want to start with a little bit of recognition from the past week. Who was moving in action here? Kristen had one of her top cycle weeks, 2 enrollments. Paul and Brad, 2,000 plus points for the Dash to Disney. Rocking and rolling there. Danielle Patterson, rank advanced to manager. Chris Angst and Kira both enrolled their first person. So great job, guys. Keep up the work. Leaders show up, and you are all here. So fantastic job. The core value that I want to talk about tonight, that Isagenix, one of our core values that we're going to touch on is integrity. And most of us that have seen any depth into this company know that since day one, and it's been 16 years, that Isagenix has been built on integrity. And a personal story that I have about this is I was talking to Travis Ogden at his house when Lauren so graciously took us there last spring, which is incredible. And Travis was telling us a story about how he was in like an executive board meeting. The top guys were in there. Jim Coover was addressing a situation that could have gone one of 2 ways. And what Travis said, will always resonate with me is that Jim Coover said in that private meeting, he could have said anything. He said, we are going to do what we always do. And that's what's best for our customers and what's best for this company. And Travis said he was brand new. He was sitting in there and he goes, wow, like this, even at the, when you peel all the layers back of Isagenix, it is as good as what we see at the event. So that to me was something that spoke volumes about our company.
Yeah, I love it. Just always doing the right thing. So we have to always make sure that we're doing that too, and that we're representing the company. So if we're not coming with integrity, we're not filled with integrity, we're really not, speaking from the heart of Isagenix. So, all right. So tonight we're going to talk about launch parties, also known as, you might hear them, sip-in samples or tasting parties. But show of hands, anyone on here has done them before, like hosted one? Co-hosted, maybe went to one before, right? And at these events, it's awesome. It's where you're catching the culture of Isagenix. We might say, why do we have to do these? Why can't I just do online events? And at the end of the day, a lot of people want to be surrounded by other people who are using Isagenix, or maybe they want to be in the room and they want to taste some of the products. And, a lot of times we don't give people samples, right? We don't send it to them. We usually will just be like, well, it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So this is like a time that they really can taste it and just see if it's for them or something, a flavor that they like or something like that. So I absolutely love it. So the first reason to have them is launching your business. It's like your coming out party for Isagenix. I remember when Laura was like, all right, you're going to start this business. It's awesome. And it was like 2 weeks later, she's like, I'm moving away, far away, and you're just starting this. And guess what? We have to do this little party for you before I leave. Because then it was like I was on my own. So I'm like, okay, but I was so scared to tell people that I was doing this. I mean, I wasn't even on Facebook before. Now I'm like on Facebook and I'm inviting people to my coming out party. Like, hey, I'm doing this health and wellness thing. I don't really know. Like, I was a teacher, but I'm just going to do this thing and I'm feeling awesome. And I was embarrassed. I remember like pushing send, like, oh my goodness, what are they going to think? Oh my goodness. But it was like my coming out thing. So just think about that right now. If you have someone on your team who needs to come out about Isagenix, host a party for them. That might be a reason to do it. So another reason, the whole culture factor, like we talked about, practicing your 30-second story. I can tell you a lot of people have never done it. And when you have to get in front of a room looking at sharing right now, like giggling to myself. Better and was comfortable. So if she was able to do that in front of a room full of people, you better believe she was able to do that to her next door neighbor, to a stranger she meets somewhere else, right? She's holding up a drink right now. So it's just, it gives you the confidence because you have people there that are safe people, you know, your team members, and you have other people that you may not know or just are good friends. So I love it. Another reason is really creating consultants. It's so easy to say to a new person, hey, you're feeling amazing. Like, we're having a party next week. Bring your friends, bring your family. I mean, we're having a raffle. When you come, your name is entered into this raffle. And if you bring 2 people, it's entered twice. If you bring 3 people, it's entered 3 times. Like, incentivize people to get there because you can create consultants with ease by doing this. I promise. It's something that you want to not only bring your team members to, but bring people who are just product users to this and have them bring people. So the first thing you need to do is invite people. And, you know, a lot of us get in the habit of just creating a Facebook event, creating an evite, and then just pushing everyone we know and just push the button, pray, and send. But at the end of the day, you might have some people who come that way, and that's awesome. I mean, when we do our public ones for town, I mean, people go because they see it on Facebook. It's a public one. But if you're having something in your house and it's you know, private, it's a private setting, you're not going to put your address out there, you know, people want to hear from you. And if you want someone even at a public event, you need to pick up the phone and say, hey, Trish, I was thinking of you. You know, I'm hosting this event, and I remember talking at the gym, and you were like, I wish I had a little bit more energy, or I wish I had a pre-workout, whatever it is, just like, I would love to share with you. Could you come? If you're new, I know the biggest line, the best thing you could say is like, oh my goodness, Mom, or oh my goodness, Tracy, whoever it is. Like, you need to come to my launch party or my tasting party. I'm afraid no one's going to show up. I don't want to be the only one there. That's so embarrassing. Can you just come support me? Just come. I'll give you a drink. I'll give you e-shot, whatever it is. Just get there for me. So when people hear that and they hear your voice and they hear you saying, like, it means a lot that you're there for me because I'm afraid that no one is going to come, they're going to come. So I flew down to see Carrie. Carrie's on here. She's been doing this a year now. I flew down to Florida, which I've never done before, to go be with someone, and did her first tasting party with her last October. Paula and Brad were on this call. Paula came because Carrie was like, I'm so scared no one's going to come. Jen's coming all the way from New Jersey. Can you please? Paula came, I think, from volleyball 45 minutes away just to support Carrie. She sat in the back. She gave her a cute little smile, but then she stood up and grilled me at the end. I was like, wow, what's this girl's deal? She has a lot of questions, you know? She didn't enroll. But the day before I left, a couple days later, she's like, hey, my husband and I want to meet with you and Carrie after church before you get on a plane. Can we meet? And guess what, guys? It wasn't only about enrolling. It was about a business. Who knew that they had network marketing skills in the past and were looking for something different? So because Carrie said that line, she came, and look, it happened. I mean, they've been able to change so many other people's lives now. So don't be scared to say that one. People will do anything for you if you say it that way. Come up with a catchy name. So if it's like, you know, a certain season, maybe do that. If you're going to be, you know, having some like brunch bubbly, I've seen a lot of people do that. Add something in there that sounds fun to get them there and make it catchy. Like we talked about before, adding a raffle, getting people there, like incentivizing them, telling them that there's going to be free drinks that you're going to buy them. If we do an event in town, we always will give everyone buy one drink when they come in and give it to them. Like that's like our way of getting it there. Get it from the bar, give it to them. It doesn't matter if it's a seltzer, you know, whatever it is, if they want a glass of wine, that's something that we do and our team does as well. And then we all chip in $5. And if it's hosted at the spa, great. All of our money goes into a pot and then we give back to the spa. It's a spa gift certificate. If we're having it at a restaurant, we all chip in money and then the raffles to the, you know, to give back to the restaurant. Okay. You can also do little things like you give away e-shots or ice of delights or something. That's another thing you can do. So that's really important. Make sure if you're doing an event at your house, you make it private though. And if you're doing out in public somewhere in town, make it public so that people will see it. Setting up the event. I feel like I'm like obsessed with organizing. So my team knows that we have this like huge black bin that's on wheels. You could probably fit 2 bodies in there, literally. It's so big, and we put all of like the empty carton stuff from every different flavor thing in there. I have an HDMI cable so I can hook up my, you know, computer to the TV, like every single thing that you need should be in that bin so that if anyone calls you at any time is like, hey, I want to do an event, like I'm going to host an event or I'm going to do a tasting party, they literally can come over and wheel the bin out of my house. And I'm like, see ya, and then wheel it back when they're done. We even have an extra TV that we actually have and we bring to events if they don't have a TV there. So you really have to think, like, what do you need? If you want a flip chart to have like your schedule shown, that's awesome. I don't want to lug one more thing, so I do it on the PowerPoint, which is just my schedule on there, whereas exactly where I have the movies that we play. Everything's in one location for us, just to make it simple. You definitely want to have samples. So this is totally personal choice what you decide to do, but we personally usually do not sample shakes. We've had times where people have sampled it and it kind of turned them the other way, just because maybe their body was acidic, or maybe it was because we didn't add anything to it. It was late at night and they really weren't feeling that. But what would they like? I can tell you right now, they're going to love to try the Ice of Delights, right? You're going to have those there. You're going to have the bars cut up into little pieces. You only need a couple of the top flavors and cut up in tiny pieces. You just need one of each. I absolutely love protein balls. The protein balls are awesome, and I always put the recipes right next to it so that when someone's leaving, they grab the recipe and they have that and they know how to make that at home. So it's just giving them the extra things. Hulk juice is another huge one. You want to introduce more products, like you're putting 3, maybe they have ionics already, but maybe you're putting greens and hydrate there that maybe was not going to be in their pack that they added on now because they've tried it. So try to think about all of that. Think about drinks, whether you're having that, whether you need ice, water. These are like silly things, but there really are things that you should write down and always have. The newest thing that we're going to try next week is we're going to diffuse oils, right? When people are coming in, it's going to be like Karen. Where's Karen? Yeah, you can barely see her. She has so many oils going.
Might do it at the sauna.
Yeah, you can't, you don't even know if she's there. So it's a great way if you've never spoken in front of people before. They won't even be able to see you, right? Doesn't matter. So diffuse oils, have that going when people come in. Talk about it a little bit. I don't know a ton, but I can tell you some things, right? So just by the smell of it, like, well, this is lemon, this is whatever. So I would definitely do that. So I'm sorry I talked fast, but now Adam's going to chime in a little bit.
I'll try and slow it down a little bit. All right, so something that I did a couple days ago, I went back and I watched the Tanya Kirkpatrick and Trudy Maples launch party that was at Celebration in Las Vegas. It's incredible. If you're uncomfortable with it, Angie, if you feel like you don't have all the stuff, go watch that, because if you watch what Tanya and Trudy did from stage, they hardly had anything up there. They had an easel that had the schedule written out. So the schedule basically is you welcome people when they get there. It's the history of Isagenix, transform your life, a couple, real people testimonial, stand up, the 5 pillars, and then eat for free. And if you go to Isagenix Business, the Facebook page, you can literally search for that launch party. It's like an hour long. It's perfect the way they did it. And we had to watch it a couple times, take some notes, and just get the just get the highlights of each thing, and you can run your own party right from there. So welcome. When Trudy said we welcome people at the door, like you actually are, I know for women it's a little easier. They're giving people hugs. They're coming in. They're making them feel welcome. They're trying to figure out who invited you, and don't let people get lost when they walk in the door. But you want to try to start on time. I know we try to give a couple minute buffer because people usually show up when the starting time is, so we don't want them to miss too much of it. But we ask people to be open. And I think something that Tanya said was huge, is that they try to cover a lot of the objections right from that welcome. Like, who's ever referred anything? I want you to raise your hand. How many meals are you prepping a day? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Who's stressed? Who's stressed from work? Who's stressed from home life? Who's stressed from, financial issues? So you're already building in a lot of our core pillars and our what makes Isagenix so unique into that beginning. So their minds have kind of been opened a little bit to what they're about to hear. And then we go into the history of Isagenix. It's a 16-year-old company. It's an amazing company. Jim and Kathy Coover, came out of retirement. They're working with John Anderson and Eric Coovers, and you just build the value of what this company is all about. And obviously we talk about Travis Ogden now. These are some things that have newly come in that we can talk about Travis Ogden and the oils game and how we're just becoming this complete wellness company. And, it's just amazing, all the value that we have there. And then transform your life. Go to isamovie.com. Just put it into your presentation. Anybody can hit play on that movie.
Yeah.
So duplicative. So if you go to isamovie.com, if you haven't been there lately, that website is awesome now. It's literally looks like your personal website where it shows transform your life. You go down like how to unbox, and then it shows the you share, they share video down there. So if you go to the home screen on isamovie, transform your life is right there. Then you have a couple of testimonials. There's nothing more powerful than somebody coming up and telling their personal story. And I like a range of people. Maybe somebody that's lost a decent amount of weight. Maybe somebody that just started a week ago that's excited. Maybe somebody that's been on it for a couple of years. Maybe a performance person. So, my story might connect with somebody differently than somebody else's, younger, older. So mix it up a little bit, but make sure those stories, make sure you cap them a little bit, because sometimes people get up there and ramble for minutes upon minutes and it drags on. So you want it to be 30 seconds, max a minute. It's more powerful that way.
Agreed.
Then we talk about the 5 pillars. And I think Tanya had a great tip in that presentation when she put the bullet points of like the highlights of each product on the back of the product. So you pick it up and you're showing people, and then there's the bullet points that nobody else sees but you, and then you can read off that so you don't have to memorize it.
Yeah, and guys, add your personality to this part. Like, you better believe I'm bringing humor into it. And there has not been one time, not even once, that I've done it without talking about depends. Like, I'm sorry, when we get to the cleanse bar, I am telling them that they can choose their size depends. Like,
I would go with the large because you're going to be on the bathroom a lot.
Yeah, like the box of depends is coming to their house for the cleanse. Like, I throw that out there immediately because it's funny. They laugh, and then it kind of takes away the awkwardness of having to explain that it's not a poop cleanse. They're making a joke. It captures their, and it brings the energy back into the room.
All right. So then we talk about the most important part, which I feel, and it's a personal connection to us. And I would suggest, if it's not a personal connection to you, that you have somebody get up and share their financial story, the Eat for Free program. And again, we're pressing play on the you share, they share video, but that's where Jen and I will get serious and say, listen, there was always more month than money. We were struggling. Like, we were looking for something, and Isagenesis came into our life. And it has blessed us more than we could have ever imagined. And one thing that we discovered yesterday, we were on the back office. If you go to Training Center on the back office, there's actually PowerPoints there that you can use. We kind of made up our own.
Well, yeah, it's under the training tab, and then it's like almost where you'd find like Step Up to 2-Star. There are 4 different, I guess, almost PowerPoints that teach you how to invite people, how to host. It actually gives you templates for inviting people that you can actually fill in your information, screenshot and post to your social media, and actually gives thank you letters too, like thank you cards, which you can actually just obviously send virtually. I thought that was really cool. We've never seen it before, but happened to see it last night. So.
And then a lot of times at the end, there's got to be a call to action. That's the most important part. You have to say, hey, you're here for a reason. If this resonated with you, maybe you're offering some kind of give back of some sort for people that enroll tonight, that make that decision tonight. If you've heard anything that you like, come ask questions, come talk to us, but then actually go talk to those people and maybe just start a conversation and then lead to that call to action too. So what did you like about what you saw tonight? Like, get them to open up and think about what they saw, and really, not necessarily put the pressure on them, but get them to make a decision, yes or no. You're here for a reason. Let's see where we can go with this.
Yeah, and when you offer a time-sensitive bonus, like tonight, we're going to reimburse your shipping, or we're going to throw an extra product on there for free. Maybe that's something you want to do to increase volume, or something with free enrollment. That gives them, like to say, like, what, I think I'm going to do it now, because a lot of times they go home and then all of a sudden they kind of forget. They forget the energy. They forget that they were out. They're back into the life of like the stress and getting everyone out the door and up in the morning and just, back into that where they're kind of forgetting. So you want to like grab them there and try to get them to enroll that night. So that's super, super important. Yes, I love Laura. Create the urgency for sure. So if you, set this all up and no one comes, It's called the secret party, right? It was so secretive that no one came. Like no one knew about it. You're the only person that knew.
Been there.
Right? It's happened to all of us. Because we've had team events. Like we've like rented out places or set all up and no one came. And like sometimes, yeah, it's a bummer. But at the end of the day, guess what? Every single person that you put on that list, it's a follow-up. People that said, I have a sports game tomorrow night, but let me know when your next one is. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, of course, no way. I'm going to, like, the next day, I'm going to be like, we missed you so much last night. It was so much fun. Of course, I'm not going to tell them no one came, right? Never do that. It was awesome. We had so many fun people. Oh, the amount of people that got started was ridiculous. Like I always like over exaggerate it because they want to hop on too then, right? FOMO. So you want to get them and get them in that moment that when you said, we missed you so much and they say, hey, well, let me know when your next one is. No, let's grab coffee this week. Or when do you have a few minutes to pop on the phone? Or you know what? Corporate's doing an event, right? Every Wednesday night, guys, those are your things that you plug corporate into, that you plug people into corporate, put them on those experience isogenics calls. They do the work for you. So you can always do that. And anyone that said maybe they're coming or they're interested, that's your follow-up list that you have. And you have a list for the week and you work off of that. And then again, plan to your next event and kind of go from there.
Also, these Zoom calls are like mini events, but for your team. So practice, inviting your team to these Zoom calls. Create that FOMO that they can be here and can be on and we can see each other. And it's great to see each other in these little boxes. But we're going to talk about the core 4 events also that really will shift you. And we've seen people shift completely, including myself. I have a personal story that I'll kind of touch on with that about my first event. But our core 4 events. So NYKO, it's in every January. They've been doing it at Phoenix. It's going to be, last year was at Phoenix. This year it's going to be Phoenix. You get to see world headquarters. I mean, you get to tour the facility. You get to see like the inside of it. I mean, it's a little bit more, intimate than Celebration, but still it's a big event and it's 2 to 3 days. You get inspired there. You can learn more in those 2 to 3 days than somebody can probably teach you in months. Celebration, obviously our biggest event. This year it was in Nashville. It's going to be in Nashville again last year. Everybody, if you are serious about this business, if you are trying to build something massive here, you need to get to the events. You have to. And the first event, yes, you're probably going to go by yourself. After that, the goal is to bring people with you every single time. It's been amazing seeing people get to the events, have that complete shift in their business and just run for it because they got inspired by a story or a connection or something that you weren't able to provide them that they saw from stage. UIA. So this is with Master Trainer David Wood. This is getting down to business. Like you are working and you're working through the objections and your personal connections. This is work. Like if you want to go there and just sit back and do nothing, that event is not for you. But if you want to move forward in your business, UIA is going to get you to shift and learn the language and really dive into this business. And then ICU, a nice smaller event. They've broken it down to like an East Coast and a West Coast. We go every April. It was in Philly last year. It's been in Newark the years before, but that's a really cool, super private, not really private, but super smaller event that you can really get close to people that inspire you. We go to those 3 main events every year, no question. Get your teams there. I mean, that is huge. If you're a promoter and you can promote these events and get people there, they're going to see something and it's going to build your business. My personal connection is 2.5 years ago. She dragged me kicking and screaming to Dallas in NYKO only because my brother lived down there. And I started the conference like this, literally arms closed. She's nudging me. She's, you got to take notes, this and that. I'm like, stop, I'm here. Quit bothering me. By the end, it was like a slow, like golf clap. Like I had started with a golf clap into like a cheering, and I'm like dancing in the aisles. Like I don't know what it was, but I saw something because I had always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I'd always wanted to build a business, but for me personally, like I have no business experience. I had no money. I have none of that. So I'm like, what can I do? I can't do anything. So here I am getting inspired by, a mechanic that walked across the stage as a millionaire. I'm seeing a police officer as the number 2 income earner in the company. Like, I'm like, is this for real? And I'm like, why not me? but I had to personally be surrounded by those 8,000 people getting me all fired up.
Yeah, guys, go get to an event. If you're serious about this, you will get to an event. And if you're sitting here and you're a little overwhelmed because we threw a lot at you and Adam talks super fast, so annoying, I would highly recommend obviously watching it again, but really just breaking it down to the basics. Anybody can push play. You don't even need to have it. You don't have a shake canister in your house, who cares? Right? Get people over, get in front of them and tell them, I love this. Like, it has changed my life in XYZ. Whatever it is, push play. And then at the end, just like, who wants to join me? And if they need to get a follow-up call, get on the phone with someone. There's so many leaders here that would hop on the phone with you, hop on a Zoom with you, get them on something that's going to inspire them. But you don't need to have it perfect before you do it. I was a hot mess when I first did this. No clicker, stood in front of the computer, sweating, like literally tried to read off the screen, but I did horrible. But guess what? No one else was stepping up to do it either. So no one could laugh at me, right? There was no other leader stepping up. They couldn't make fun of me, but I was excited and they saw my excitement. Along with my pit stains that were like sweating, along with that. They saw a lot. They saw too much that night, but it was so fun. So just get out there and do it. You don't need to be perfect. Just be inspired and go get people to join you.
We have a pretty short PowerPoint that we use too. So feel free to
if anyone wants
reach out to us. I mean, we can send it to you, or I'll have Brad send it since he's the computer guy.
Yeah. Adam doesn't really know. All right. Hopefully, any questions, or Lauren, you think we didn't touch on something, just let us know. You're giggling.
I'm dying. Literally, you should see mine and Aaron's conversation right now.
Hi.
Let us in on it.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. You're awesome.
You guys are lit, man. You guys have got us all locked, ready to rock and roll, man. Ready to throw a launch party, get to a party, get to something, man. I'm like, I want to go to the party you guys are going. Let's go.
We could use your energy for sure. We'd love to have you.
It looks like you guys got a ton of it, man. Shoot, I'm going to grab some of yours at 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who got some questions? Come on.
Okay, wait. In all seriousness, because I am laughing because you guys are so cute. Between Aaron, because I said, oh my gosh, they're crushing it, and the couple that he referenced when he was like, you guys, I'm like dying right now because I just like can't get past it. But then on top of it, Jen, when you were like, I know he talks too fast, the two of you collectively just like killed me for like a second. But one thing I legitimately would love for you to talk about is so many people get super excited about their sip and sample or their tasting party. And they're like, I've got it. I've got the fun name. I've got all the products. I'm ready to play the videos. But they really struggle with the invitation. And they think if they just make a Facebook event and tag all their friends, or if they make the Facebook event, like everybody's going to come. You guys have always been so good at actually packing the house. I mean, I know like everybody, you've had secret events, but you have had very successful events. Can you talk a little bit about how you, either with a third-party validation, with a group message, with your individual invitations, how you're actually making people feel special and welcomed and invited, and not just like it's another thing on Facebook that they're overwhelmed by?
Well, honestly, I will say 110% alcohol and no children. Like, definitely hands down, that's not a joke. Some people just want to get out for the night, right? And some people, if they can't get out in the night, you do a mommy play date one, and they just want to come over because there's free things. I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't love things that are free? But really reaching out to them and letting them hear your voice, not just messaging them in text, but letting them hear your passion, letting them hear you giggle if you say something funny, or you have a personal joke that between you two. If someone you really want there, you're going to say their name. And then there's a lot of times that we just do generic messages, but our energy's up and it's like send. And we try to do a lot through text when possible, because otherwise Facebook cuts you off the messenger if you send the same thing over and over too many times. So just letting them hear your passion and why you want them there. I mean, tell them what is it that made you reach out to them? Is it a conversation you had before? Is it just you popped in your head when you saw a video, or you just thought about your life 3 years ago and you're like, you know what, I just can't imagine being in that spot anymore. And I just feel like I have such a gift to share with you, and you need to hear this. You know, just be open-minded, or just come for the free drink, come for the night out. You know, we'll grab something afterwards. Whatever it is, just let them see that you're really sincere, and they're not just a number, and they're not just an enrollment.
Yeah, I think it's the consistency too. People knowing, like, people get busy, they got a ton of stuff going on, and they're going to tell you, oh, tell me when the next one is. And you're actually writing their name down on a list and saying, hey, I thought of you again because we're having this event. And I think that calls them out a little bit, because they might have been just trying to push you off. And no, you wrote it down because I'm serious. This is a real business to me. I'm not just doing this part-time. Like, this is real. Like, you told me to let you know next time. So I'm letting you know we're having one next time, and I would love for you to be there. So it's that constant follow-up. If they're really going to respond, if they just ghost me, then, you know, I'm kind of out of luck with that. But if they're saying, oh, let me know when the next one is, and you'll get a lot of those people that say, oh, I can't make it. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, I definitely want to come to the next one. Stay on them, and then follow up with that, because that's going to get them to there, and then they're going to at least see it and then make an informed decision. And
Alexis, I see your question. How do you explain what a launch party is when people ask? I mean, if it truly is a launch party, it's your initial business thing, that it's just something that you're opening up your shop, and you just want people to see how awesome this is. And maybe that's just what you say, and you're sampling some of the products and talking about it. Otherwise, it's really not, I mean, you could call it anything you want. It's just a tasting party, or it's a get together, a healthy event, something like whatever you want it to be, but just be honest about what it is. Do not trick people that they think they're coming for one thing and all of a sudden they're bamboozled and it's something different. There are times that I've had play dates and everything, and I've organically shared things. Oh, well, here's a shake because I'm having a shake for lunch. Do you want one too? Or here's some ice pops I made that are out of hydrate. The kids are having them. I organically pull them out. It's not like they come in, I'm like, ta-da, push play, and like everyone's like, what is going on? Don't do that. Be honest about it, because otherwise they're going to be upset, and they're going to feel like they're being sold, and they're not going to trust you, and which means they're not going to buy from you or join your team. And how often do we have them? I saw Karen say, I mean, we try to do monthly here. There are times we took off this summer. There are times around the holidays that we may like skip a month, and then it builds momentum for the next month. We, you know, obviously come from a smaller area, and there's times that we just know now after doing it that this month is not a good month, whatever month it is.
December, July, August.
Yeah.
Not
There's
great
some,
months.
that's just the way it is right now. But we do other things, you know, it's not like we just go radio silent. There's other ways to reach out. Maybe it's more belly to bellies. Maybe it's more, you know, an online event, whatever it is. But that's what I can definitely say there. So hopefully that is, I love that, Chris. Don't invite people to your kid's birthday party and it's a launch party. Surprise. Yeah, not so much. Idea. So. All right, well, hopefully that helps. If there's anything else, ask now or forever hold your peace.
I just wanted to add one thing. You guys crushed this, and it's so important that everybody on here understands that you are the CEO of your own billion-dollar business. Do you realize that? When you invite somebody to a launch party and they ask you, what is it? You say, you're launching your billion-dollar business. You do that with such posture that anybody that wants to know someone who owns a billion-dollar business is talking to them on the phone, you know? And I think that's what, you know, Adam and Jen have done so well, is that they come with enthusiasm and that integrity piece that people know, like, and trust. They know them. They're like, man, if you're inviting me to something, I got to be there because I know that you guys are serious about what you're doing. And so if you're on here, you are a CEO. I think everyone, even customers, are CEOs of their own billion-dollar business, whether they know it or not. It's up to you to launch it. It's up to you to invite them to see what it's all about. And if they decide, to support them and get rocking and rolling.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much.
So good. Thank you, Erin. I totally agree. Jen and Adam, you guys are so good. I'm sorry I was giggly there for a second. I am so always inspired by you guys. And thank you for taking your time out of your Tuesday night to be here with all of us. I just want to remind you that sometimes when you look at people that have been doing this for a while, you're like, oh my gosh, how could I ever sound like them? How could I ever do that? How could I ever host this? And we all start somewhere. And if you think about the infant that's starting to walk, that baby falls down more than once. And no one's like, oh, just stay down. You're never going to be able to walk, right? Like, you suck at this, just stay down, right? They're like, good job. You took like one step. Like, good job. You're amazing. And for some of you right now, it's like the fact that you're thinking about hosting a tasting party. You're like, oh my gosh, What would I call it? What would I tell people I was doing? Like, good job. Like, good job, you're thinking that. And the more you continue to do this, I love the idea of making it fun. I love the idea of giving it a clever name that even if they don't want Isogenics, there's value for that. And that's something that over the years I found that, like, we've literally said in the invitation, you know what, even if you have no interest in our health products or the wealth solution, come for the wine, come for the girls, come for the mimosas, come for the tacos, like whatever it may be. The people want the community. So many people, you guys, you'll hear in Isogenics, they come for the products, they stay for the business, but they fall in love with the culture and the community. So many people just need the positivity. They just need the community. Create an atmosphere of safety, of encouragement, of positivism, of excitement, that even if they're not ready for shakes, they're like, oh my gosh, the best part of my day was being at your launch party because of XYZ. And so as you're planning these and you're saying, okay, imagine if I had just spent a 9-hour workday, an hour and a half of traffic, my kid is sick, my this is that, my boss is mad at me, my husband's annoyed with me or whatever. Why would I go to this thing? Create such an excitement that those people say, you know what, I need to stop by Jen's house. I told Adam I would stop by, and not only will they want to go, but when they get there, they're like, there was a reason I needed to be there. Like, your whole purpose is to create excitement, to create purpose, to create value, something that they go, wow, there was a reason I made 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour out of my busy schedule to be here. And just have fun with it. And I'll leave you with the idea that we've said over and over and over, that you don't have to be perfect, that it's not the idea that you know everything. You're not there to be informational. You're there to be inspirational. You're casting a vision. You're sharing stories. You're inviting them to be a part of something that they don't even know they're missing yet, and just have fun with it. So a lot of you are not doing this because you're so worried about knowing everything, and just dive into it and just be so excited that you have something powerful. You have something that changes lives. It changed your life. And you're doing a disservice if you're not inviting other people to take a look. So Jen, Adam, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys all.